Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Axgio True Wireless Earbuds. Now these are pretty special in that they are truly wireless. So when you think of wireless earbuds, there's typically a little cord or a wire that goes in between the two sides. But for this, there's nothing in between, just two completely independent units. And this costs around $68 on Amazon.ca or about $40 at Amazon.com. So let's just open this up here. I've already opened these. I've already tested them. I just put them back in the box so you can see what the unboxing experience is like. It uses a very simple box, and inside you'll find a carrying case. Let's put that down there, and also your user manual, but we're not interested in that. So let's take a look at this case. Now, considering that these aren't that expensive, I'm really pleased to see a really nice case included here. As you can see, it's got a little, I'm assuming, aluminum carabiner there. And it's a hard shell case, and inside you will find the earbuds themselves. I'll just set those to the side, and also you'll see a little pouch here for you to store your accessories. And it comes with two extra pairs of different sizes of ear tips, and interestingly, a double-ended USB cable, micro USB cable. So that's just so you can charge both of the earbuds at once without having two wires. Really handy. Although if you do lose those, you're gonna have to charge them individually, which is kind of annoying. But there's no way around that other than having a double-ended cable. So that's how it is. Depends on how you take it. Let's take a look at build quality now. Now these are made completely of plastic. It's an all-plastic build. However, the plastic does feel pretty sturdy. It doesn't feel cheap in any way. And it's also water resistant. It's got IPX4, I believe, which means that it'll be splash resistant. You'll be able to wear these when you're working out. You'll be sweating, maybe in the rain even. But I wouldn't submerge these underwater, or I guess wear them out in the extreme rain. But they should hold up to sweat, light rain, stuff like that. So you'll see that both of these actually have the buttons on them. There you go. So you've got power, play, pause, volume up and down, skip tracks. It's interesting that they have them on both earbuds because these can actually be used individually. I'll talk about that a bit later. But otherwise, for build, you'll see on the bottom here, you've got the little flap. That's where your micro USB charging port is. You just have to flip that open, plug the port in, or plug the charger in, and you'll also see a microphone and an LED light. So when you hold these down, you'll actually see, am I covering it? Yep, there it is. So once you hold it down for a few seconds, you'll see that the light flashes blue and red. That just means it's pairing. I'll get to that later on, but I just wanted to show you that there's an LED on both of them actually. So there you go. So let's talk about comfort. They hold very well in the ears because of these ear hooks. These go around your ears, and these ear tips, considering that you have 3 different sizes, are pretty much guaranteed to fit everybody. Like them or hate them, I actually really like the rubber ear tips. I think they work very well. However, you see the circle here, this piece right there, and pretty sure that holds the drivers for these earbuds. However, I think this is a bit big and it actually touches the inside of my ears and causes a little bit of discomfort once I've been wearing them for a little longer. So if you have really big ears, I guess, it's not even the size of your ears, just how your ear is shaped on the inside. For me, this bumps up against the inside of my ear, causes discomfort. Might not for you. However, even for me, I only feel it when I'm moving them around my ear, taking them in and out. So it's not that big of a problem. I just like to point that out. And let's see. Okay, that's about it for comfort. Overall, these are very comfortable. They stay in your ear, like I said. It just depends on your ear shape. Now let's talk about connectivity and battery life. So these use Bluetooth 4.0, and you'd assume that they're pretty hard to connect. I thought that too, since they're 2 completely individual units. But hold on, I'll just power these off. You'll see that light turns off, so I'll just press it on again. There you go, power's on. Once you have it connected, it'll just be flashing blue, and it'll work individually. So this can work just as one earbud, as is right now, or you can bring in the second one, hold this button down, and you'll see there that the blue light's flashing. And you won't be able to hear that, but it just said stereo mode connected, so it means they're both working. And it's that simple, really. You just hold the button down for a couple of seconds, and there you go. They're both working. And also, when you're turning them off, if you turn one off, like I'm pressing the one on this side right now, you'll see that both of them turn off at the same time, even if you just press on one of the sides. So that's really convenient. I like how that works. I thought it'd be way harder to connect than that, but luckily, there you have it. Super easy. Once you have them connected, turn them on. That'll connect immediately. Hold down the power button on the second one. That'll connect too. So really awesome. Now the range is about typical for what you'd see from any other pair of Bluetooth earbuds around this price point, which means that it'll work for about 10 meters, or sorry, not 10 meters, 10 feet when you're indoors. You might be able to go behind a wall or two, but after that, they will start cutting out. And if you're outdoors or if you're in a very open area, these have a range of around 40 feet. So nothing special. But I will point out that sometimes, occasionally, one side will drop out. But it's really weird. It doesn't disconnect. It just, the volume goes all the way down and fades all the way back up. This happens over the period of, I'd say, about a second. So it doesn't happen very often. I noticed it 2 or 3 times during my testing. Where I just drop out on one side, come back immediately. So I wouldn't say it's a problem. It's just something I'd like to point out. And the battery life is about 6 hours at around 50% volume. Now I'll talk about the volume later, but that sounds pretty good to me considering they're completely wireless. However, that does mean that it's slightly bulky. You'll see there that that's very thick actually. However, it doesn't look that bad when you're wearing them at all, to be honest. My only concern with the size is that actually it's kind of hard to stick in the case because of how tall it is. Hold on, I'll just readjust the camera here. If you take the case size comparison, you'll see that the case isn't much taller than this, so you'll have some trouble cramming it in there if you have any accessories also in the case, but not really a problem. You can work your way around it just by moving them around a bit inside of the case. So that's about it for battery life. Let's talk about the sound. So these are actually very admirable for the price. They're obviously aimed towards bass heads, like pretty much all wireless earbuds around this price point are. The bass is very emphasized. It's boomy. I know a lot of people like that. If you're into beats or something, these are pretty much perfect for you. I actually think these sound just as good as at least some of the older generation beats. The bass is boomy, like I said. It's not punchy and it's not very well controlled. However, I will put this out right now. I am very much used to a neutral sound. These are my daily drivers. I'll just pull these in. I'm an HE400i, so I really like a more neutral sound. So take everything I say with that in mind. So I don't think that the bass is very well controlled, and it drops off around the mid bass. So once it comes up a little bit, if you're listening to a song where the bass, you've got a bass guitar and it plays. Jumps to a very high note on the bass guitar, you'll hear that note drop off, so it won't be nearly as loud as the other notes. And the mids, however, are surprisingly present. This is where I say they're better than most, because the voices aren't actually that tinny. They're quite present, obviously not as present as the bass in this case, but they're still there. And compared to most other ones that I've owned, these have one of the best mid reproductions out there. Highs, however, suffer a lot. They're very pushed back. There's a lot of sparkling in some songs that you won't hear at all on these. Again, that's comparing to what I'm used to, which are really neutral headphones, so take that with a grain of salt. And obviously there's no talk about soundstage or imaging because these are in-ear pairs. Now these isolate decently well. They isolate pretty much just like any other pair with these rubber ear tips, and they get crazy loud. So I actually listen to these around 50%. That means that the battery life I get, again, since it's stated at 6 hours at 50% volume, I get that full 6 hours, and I don't believe that anybody will be using these over, I'd say, 80%. Honestly, they're way too loud to use at 100%. So again, 50% is about perfect for me. I wouldn't go over that. So overall, these are a very, very nice pair of Bluetooth earbuds. They're completely wireless, super convenient. They're decently well built, although they are all plastic. It feels sturdy enough. The comfort is there. It's it stays in your ear very well. However, again, keep in mind that thing about touching the inside of your ears. The connectivity is as you'd expect in terms of range. These are very easy to connect considering they're completely wireless and they have two individual devices, however. And the battery life, 6 hours, pretty good. And the sound is admirable if you are a bass head. So that's about it for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it or found it helpful. Leave any comments if you have any questions down below. And subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.